Hi. I know it's probably gonna take a minute for people to come in, and aside from like adjusting my little hands-free device, sorry, I'm in traffic, and I figure that's my little intro before people start showing up. It's been a while. I'm sorry it's been a while. The truth is, I was very, very hyper aware of the fact that I haven't been living in integrity of who I want to be. It was a combination of making space for someone else. It was a combination of trying to show that person what unconditional love is. It was a combination of feeling pulled by life rather than pushing and leading the life I want to live. And that's because I made a choice. I made several choices, and I can't blame anyone for my choices but myself. And in fact, there's no blame because I made a choice. There's the cost of the life I get to live, and there's that choice that I made, and it looked like I didn't feel like I could share. It looked like I didn't feel like I could say anything meaningful. It looked like I wasn't blogging. And yeah, there was a bit of this whole frustration that I wanted to move my blog, which I did. I moved it from WordPress to Squarespace, and I haven't given myself the time or the energy to focus on my blog, which used to really bring me joy. I haven't been watching sunsets, which used to really bring me joy. That's my goal today, is to catch a sunset at some point while watching the ocean, because that's important. I had this desire, this wish to share what kind of living, by someone else's rules, by other people's opinions, what that did to me physically. I don't feel like I've been taking care of myself the way I did when I felt like everything was about what feels like a yes to me. As my friend Erica was talking to me yesterday, I was doing a lot of no's, and that sounds very, very odd, so let me describe that a little better. When you're living in your yes, it's this idea of what feels good to you, what feels instinctual, what feels fulfilling to you to do, and that becomes your yes, and you do your yes, and it's amazing. It's remarkable how that feels. When I'm living in my yes, I'm doing what feels good. I'm hiking more. I'm going to museums because I love looking at pretty things. I'm watching sunsets. I'm eating like I love myself. So I'm not eating junk food all day, because when I treat myself like I love myself, I treat myself like I would my 3 or 4-year-old child, assuming I have endless amounts of stress and rest. So that would be things like, when you're tired, you take a nap. When you're hungry, you eat. When you're hungry and you're eating, you don't give a child a bunch of junk food. You don't give them a bunch of sugar because they don't need it. You don't withhold because you want to treat your child. But at the same time, you don't say, okay, have at it. Here's this cake load of diabetes. Eat it. It's what you want. You are careful, you're mindful with how you want to take care of the children in your life. And for a while I was doing that with me, and then for a while I stopped, and it looks like my pant size are getting a little tight. It looks like indigestion more often than not. And I have a job that's stressful and fulfilling, but it's not even the job. It's life outside that I've allowed to become overwhelming in some ways. I have a very close to me young girl that was recently diagnosed with cancer, and in the few short weeks that she was diagnosed, she's shown me what it was to live in integrity of who she is. There was a moment when I left work early, and I was able to be present as the doctor was going over the diagnosis and what was going on with her. And there was a moment where she was overtaken with energy, with the emotion of how overwhelming it was. I hopped up and I gave her a hug and I let her cry into my shoulder. And of course the meeting waited for her because it was her meeting. And she looked up surprised that we would stop for her, that we would make space for her to let what we were going through land, to let herself process it. And when she realized that we were making that space for her, throughout the rest of that meeting, she pulled up strength from who knows where. There were moments when she was almost ready to cry again, and she found from who knows where this amazing sense of pride and dignity, and with poise, she gathered herself, she took a deep breath, and she pressed on. And this is a child that's not even in her teens, and she showed me so much pride and poise and dignity in that short time. Loyalty. There was another moment, which isn't really my story to share, but it was a moment where, in all that she's experiencing and all that she could and should be selfish for, she said, no, this isn't right, and I don't need that kind of support. And it was her taking a stand for me. And all that she's going through, she took a stand for me and said, no, I don't need that kind of help because of what happened to you by this person. And I was floored. I was floored with who she was in that moment. And to me, that's standing in integrity. As ill as she is, going through chemo, losing her hair, I cut mine to support her. She's still stronger than I had been. And that was a wake-up call for me. One of many. Because sometimes you need to keep being woken up after you hit the snooze button. And I was hitting the snooze button for several months. So when you're living in integrity, standing in integrity of who you want to be, you're taking better care of yourself. You're living with your yes. You're standing and taking better care of yourself. You're taking better care of others. And it's a lot easier to feel like you're leading your life as opposed to being pushed and pulled by what life is demanding of you. And don't get me wrong, I'm very much a single mom. And I've got obligations to my parents and my sisters and my children, of course, and my job and my pets, because I have so many pets. It's easy to feel pulled. It's very easy to feel like I'm being shifted where people need me to be, as opposed to standing where I'm supposed to be, where I'm designed to be. So I just want to encourage you to stand in integrity, and I want to assure you that I'm working on it. There should be more blog posts. There should be more interactions with other people, because that's stuff that makes me feel good and stuff that I've denied myself of for a while. So, I hope you make this the Thursday of your life. I hope you find something epic to do. You know, just do epic shit. Be amazing at it. Find your yeses. If there's something that feels like I have to do it, don't. I mean, I know it sounds selfish, but that's the thing with standing in integrity. You are less likely to say yes to something that you choose not to do, and you decide that no is a full sentence. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to say why you're saying no. You don't need to say, I feel this way, because it's a no. And when you're standing in integrity, your yes is something that you jump up to do because you really want to do it. It's about doing what feels right to you, what flows with who you want to be, because that's at the end of the day what it is. Anything you do is an extension of everything you do, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And so if you're playing small, then everything that you do is going to be playing small. If you're playing big, everything's going to be big, which means there are big risks, there are big opportunities, and really, really big failures. And that's okay. because you're doing what's right for you, by you, and not what someone else is saying you should do. There's a lot of times in life that we think that something is too big, it's out of our reach. The reality about a dream is that no matter how big or small, it's not in your pocket. You don't have it. So it doesn't matter if you dream big, and it doesn't matter if you dream small. So why not dream big? Why not say, yeah, that looks really, really scary and hard, but I'm going to try anyway. Because even if you don't make it to the big thing that you're trying for, you might make it to the smaller thing. And making it to the smaller thing is better than nothing that you started with. So dream big. Take big risks. Do the right thing, even if it feels like it's not the easy thing. And I won't even lie, I've been doing the easy thing for far too long when I knew what the right thing was. And the right thing requires a lot of releasing. You let go of what you've been holding on to. And the amazing thing about letting go is you've opened your hands for something else to land, something else to be present where it wasn't before. Go with it. You'll be amazed at what opens up to you. You'll be amazed at what lands at your feet. And you'll be amazed at how you're supported. Because no matter what it is you're going through, when you're on the right path, you're fed like you wouldn't believe. People show up to support you. Things become suddenly easier. There's a lot of struggle too, and that's the whole point of a path like that. There's a lot of struggle, but there's a lot of grace. So go with it. Believe that what you're doing is right. Know that what you're doing is right, because it's what you're doing based on what feels right in your heart, not what other people are saying is the best thing, the most important thing to do. So, I hope you have a great rest of your week. And again, I'll try to get back to doing these Facebook Lives, which means I've got to do a lot more things that are yes for me, so I can share with you. I was reminded yesterday that I have supported others through these videos, through my blog posts, and I let that go. And while she didn't say it, I felt that I was being selfish, because I know that I've helped others. I've seen comments on my blog, or messages sent to me, and for me that was selfish, and that didn't feel right. That wasn't standing in integrity. So today is a day of releasing for me, so give me some time. It'll come together. It'll be what it's supposed to be, and I'll get back to giving, because that's what always felt better to me anyway. You have a great day, and kisses, hugs, back to my red lipstick because it feels good. And my unicorn shirt that says, "I will cut you." Bye everyone.